We see a lot of tree planting happening in areas that look like this, pure grass, which is great. We want to convert more of our grass into trees and biodiverse systems. But I want to talk a little bit about how to plan to plant a tree in a grassy area like this. So you've got your planting spot picked out. You know what tree you want to plant. I'm going to assume you went through and thought about right tree, right place, and that tree is going to be good in that location. Now I want you to think about two things, and that is soil health and maintenance. To help you think through soil health, I want you to look at this infograph, which is a simplification of the three things that go into soil health. And I'll explain them all a little bit, although there's a lot more complexity there. When you're thinking about the physical side of things, is your soil sandy? Is it silty? Or is it clay? This is pretty hard to change, as generally your whole yard will be one type of physical soil, but you can have a little effect on that. Chemical is there a lot of nitrogen or carbon in the soil? What is the pH? Is there phosphorus? Things like that. You can affect that with fertilizers and compost, but we really recommend focusing on your compost and your biological health. So biological is generally broken down into, is the soil rich in bacteria or is it rich in fungi? So if we look at another grassy planting site, this site will likely have a lot of bacteria in the soil. Grass and bacteria generally go together in this ecosystem. Trees, on the other hand, like more fungi in the soil. So how can we start to convert a planting site like this into one that has more fungi and is more hospitable for trees? So one simple trick you can do to start to shift the biology and make your maintenance easier is, as soon as you know your planting spot, put down a pile of wood chips in that spot, directly where you want your tree. This is 1 wheelbarrow load full of wood chips. This is 2, and you want the piles to be high. You don't want to flatten them out. You can kind of see I left the mound there, and I left the mound there. And this will do two things. The first is it'll start to smother the grass, which will make planting your tree easier and maintaining your tree easier. When you're ready to plant, you just want to spread the mulch apart and then dig your hole and then plant your tree directly in the center of your mulch pile. You want to make sure you spread the mulch out enough so that there's no mulch on the stem or the trunk of the tree. That is a mulch volcano, and we don't want that. We want a little bit of space from where the tree is planted in the ground to where the mulch starts, but you can keep it thick anywhere outside of that area. The second thing this will do is change this planting spot from one that was dominated by bacteria, which you'll often find in pure grass, into one that's more favorable for fungi. These wood chips will help feed fungal life, and once you plant your tree there, that fungal activity will get a further boost by the tree, and your tree will live a longer, healthier, happy life with this little extra boost. So I went ahead and dug out that mulch pile, the smaller one, just to show you what it looks like underneath. I can't remember when I put this out. It's been out for probably at least 2 months, not quite sure. But at the bottom of the mulch pile, where you hit the dirt, you can see the grass is pretty much all gone. There's straight dirt. I can even dig a hole just with my hand. This is pretty sandy soil, but still, that's a whole location I want to plant a tree in. Not so much this, which is all grassy and difficult to dig in. And once you plant your tree, you're going to have to be weeding this grass or it's going to keep growing. There's going to be less weeds to deal with in this hole.